Welcome to the MBA Jam Podcast with your host, Avinash Bajaj.
Hey folks, welcome to the very first episode of the MBA Jam. My name is Avinash Bajaj, the host of the show. Okay, so this episode is going to be all me. The idea is to give you a very brief introduction of what the show is going to be all about. Right, so let me begin with what inspired me to start the show. Back in 2008, after my graduation, I started working as a software engineer at a large automotive corporate. However, at the same time, I started a business venture on the side. As time progressed, I started to realize how much I sucked as a software engineer and how much I loved conceptualizing ideas, building products, and making money. And if you know anyone from India, doing an MBA is almost an assumed career path right after engineering. Alright, so by now I was obviously considering doing an MBA, mainly because I wanted to know how to make money. And I figured the best way to do this is to study business. That'll help me understand the fundamentals of making a lot of money. Sounds obvious, right? What did I do after that? As any diligent student, I went out, bought all the GMAT books I could buy in the market, selected a suitable date months in the future to write my GMAT exam, enrolled in a coaching institution, started studying studiously for my exam. Sounds smooth, right? Well, it wasn't so smooth after all. First of all, it took me forever to convince myself why studying statistics and correcting wrong English sentences was important for me to make money. Anyway, I did what I needed to do and I gave my exam. My score was okay, but I was like, what the hell? Let me just apply to colleges. I was and have always been very impatient and I just want to get on with the process. But hang on, what colleges should I apply to? How do I find out what's good for me and what is not good about each college? It's not like I can visit all these institutions. I did not have enough money to even visit my girlfriend that was 400 kilometers away every week. Forget about traveling to colleges in New York, London, or Milan, especially from India. So, what's the next best thing I could do? I went on Facebook. I hunted around for students or alumni from my shortlisted colleges. I spammed them with call requests to speak to them. I called them in the middle of the night for me because that's when it is daytime in other parts of the world. I wrote pages and pages worth of notes to learn from their experiences, collated information along with gazillion other resources to try and make the best decision possible on where I wanted to spend tens of thousands of dollars on my MBA degree. Anyway, fast forward, I applied to Imperial College in London. I got in, came to London, started my course. But guess what? It did not just stop there. In the first week in college, someone tells me that if I want to get a job in management consulting, the deadline for applying to these companies is the end of the month. I was like, wait, what do you mean end of the month? I don't even know what I want to do after my MBA. Isn't that what this 1 year is supposed to be? To help me figure out what I want to do with my career. Well, as it turned out, I was not alone. There were tons of students like me who did not know this and like me who wanted to use this year to try and explore options. But going forward, I stumbled my way through the 1 year. Moving forward, I still stumbled my way through a few career options, some good ones, some not so good ones. However, there were others who knew exactly what they wanted to get out of their MBA, and how they went about that process was in a very deliberate fashion. That was very impressive. Back then, I never figured how did they do this. Now, looking back, well, I still don't know how they did that, but I do know that I want to do whatever it takes to try and make that process slightly easier for those people who are considering doing an MBA in order to help them learn from others who have walked this path in the past. Right. So that is the main objective of this podcast. Took me a while to get here, isn't it? Anyway, the aim for me is to bring in people who have done an MBA and to learn more about their experiences and to translate those experiences to you. What did they do before and what did they do after the MBA? What inspired them to do an MBA in the first place? How did that impact their career choices? How did they spend those couple of years in university? And including any learnings they took away from the MBA, any regrets. More importantly, whether doing an MBA helped them in their career paths at all. I certainly benefited a lot. On the other hand, I also made a lot of mistakes along the way. I certainly have my views around doing an MBA and how it impacted my career choices. But hey, this show is not all about me and my experiences. I will let you discover that in the future episodes. Also, once in a while I'll try to bring in other practitioners in this area, including MBA lecturers, admission staff, job recruiters, and other related professionals. Each episode will probably be around 30-40 minutes long, sometimes shorter or longer depending on the conversations. There will probably be no formal structure. The conversations are quite informal, but I'll try to do my best to cover the most important questions in order to add the most value to you as listeners. Along the way, if you guys have any feedback or questions, please send me an email at avinash@thembajam.com. That's AVINASH, Avinash at thembajam.com. And of course, for any podcast episodes or other details, please visit thembajam.com. Alright folks, that's me signing off the introduction episode. If you found this introduction useful, and if you would love to hear more from other guests, please move on to consecutive episodes. See you again folks. Until then, take care and have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the MBA Jam. Now it's time for you to take action. Head over to thembajam.com to listen to more episodes and discover great resources.